I'm back. Part 2 of episode 2. Life hits. I can't really modded editing. Anyway, let's just continue on. I can't remember what's on. I feel like just like talking about a silhouette. How much just talk about it? Yeah, I'm pretty happy how it looks now. It just looks pretty like a square. You know, it's got like fat proportions. You can see how I go with like the square theme everywhere. We'll go back to here. And I realize I'm not particularly a fan of this is why we have a spare, super handy. Not really a fan of this. I have like a consistent thing, so let's just push it in the x-axis, just make it skinny, I guess. No, tapering. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Cool. Alright. Now, some other stuff I like to do is to take advantage of this and just move it up forwards to get that curve. Since we have that. Yeah, like that. Yeah, stuff like that. I gotta deal with that, making it look more gin. Now, finally let's go tighten that up. I know someone's dying to tighten it up, and now I choose to do it now. It looks so much better. I really like how the jet fighter really looks. Like a silhouette. Time to add some details. Let's go, just cut it half. Now, luckily, since we moved this up there and there, well, I'm just going, gonna just control select, G, Y, just give us a bit of a fatter chord line, I guess. Yep. And just go select all this, press P by selection, and that's my aileron. Now, now we're getting complex, so now the subsurface is doing that, and I particularly really like this shape, and what we can do is go do this, but then just get really complicated, and really, I think we're going to just do this, H, L, Alt, P by selection, yes, and just going to apply that. Well, Control J, A, M, B by distance, and yeah. So now I can add all the edge loops I can possibly wanted. And also we get a nice detail, which I think there is. Most airplanes don't have like a joint like that. I'm pretty sure. Oh bother. Hold on, let me get my book. And I can tell you what I'm trying to explain. Oh, what does it do? something fun in time. Yeah, I think I have to call it there. But if I do find it, I can tell you what I'm talking about. I was just looking at some art earlier. I really like art, if you can't tell already. So, I'm just going to select these, press P, and that's my aileron, and flaps. Let's go with some split flaps. So to go. Now this is the advantage, I could just slide that and I don't have to worry about mucking up my jet engine. Boom. I got some split flaps and thing. I like to show a little bit more distinguished that this and that is separated. So I'm gonna grab it and slide it over. There's a little bit of a gap. And so is the other side. Because in real life there'll be always a gap. Go check out your car panels. There will be always a little bit of a gap. It's not just going to be there, you know, 1, 1. Which I don't know. I'm just trying to say, just emphasize detail. Just that. And let's go around and do the rest. Now this is easy. I think it's about time that we apply the mirror modifier. Now what's you can go. You just bother me. And let's go. I like something that just grabs the air like it's nobody's business. Yeah. And I like you get what I mean. I'm trying to achieve here, but I just go like this, and let's go like that. Hide. Press B, Alt H, P by selection. And that's what I was thinking about. Now those are some huge elevators. Yeah, the elevators is like halfway spinning. The wings. Sorry, half. It's probably like the wingspan of like some small what do you call them? Ultralights. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So maybe I'll just go into delete that. Now I kind of wish I had my spare because you can see I think I made a bit of a mistake. It's not a big mistake, but now I'm just moving a bit slower, which is oh bother. Yeah, I like that. I like that proportion a bit better. Maybe there's some rule of thumb. Does anyone know like the rule of thumb, like what's a good size elevator? Like I know there's like a rule for CG. The CG is supposed to be 1/3 away of the leading edge. You know what I mean? The airplane. So let's just grab all these faces. There's an island there. Let me just cease brush it. B by selection and boom. Look at that. That looks pretty smart. And of course we're going to emphasize those gaps by drag. Yes indeed. A bit more. Here too, I'm going to just get the whole thing all the way around and grab like that. And here, I don't know, let's just grab gaps. And now for the tail. So here. Well, let's just go with that consistent theme. Let's go mark the bottom of the tail. Let's go over here, grab, and up there, there, and here. And the lucky thing about airplanes is proportions don't really matter. Okay, well, it's not as critical as human proportions. You can see my awful human anatomy sculptures I try to do. Accident did some weight paint, not such a big deal, I can fix that later. And I got this weird ass face, weird. Now already that starts to give context of an airplane. Had a bit of a yawn. What do I want to do again? Got like that thing, got that. I like to add some like wingtips to the edge of my wings. So what I'll do is I'll select the whole loop, press hide it, Alt thing, P by selection, and then now I'm free to be as creative as I like. How I like this to be. I'll like, if you press GG and then you can see it's a slide in, you can press C and yeah, what can we do is, oh bother, I don't want I did got myself in a bit of pickle. Well, we don't need all these faces. Adios. Boom, all gone. 2 G and C. Oh, now that is just some really cool tip tank, like some wingtips. I'm gonna pick with a tip dihedral, so I'm gonna extrude it and bring it down R on the y-axis and S on some dimension. Maybe if you just change it by normal, you can do that by with the comma key on your keyboard, not your numpad. I think it's normal, I believe. No. Oh well, let's just scale it arbitrarily. Let's scale it everything except for, yeah, maybe with that. No. And let's go change back to global. Yes, on except for Y. Yeah, and you get like a bit of a softer thing. And also, I'd like to get like a bit of a semicircle, so I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna press O, GG, and C, and that's not what I wanted. I thought I would get a bit round up, but let's just do that for each one. Come on, we're an artist. We can probably approximate what does a shape is. Oh my god, C is so handy. I wish I had learned this earlier. I learned this quite recently from a friend. So, I forgot his name. If I do, I'll give a shout out to his Discord username. if he wants to. Now we've got this booger face. I don't want it. And now we're just going to press F and doop doop doop. Doop doop doop. I don't mind triangles. Triangles are my friend. Triangles make my life easy. People think it's the end of the world, but it's not. And make it crisp on the end. Now, those look really cool. They're like little skis. Except for, I don't like how narrow they do get. And let's just go to one view and just like tweak it. I press G and I can just rotate it to roughly something I like. Like that. That looks a bit more appropriate. Of course, some of you guys would like to have them pointing up. You guys can, I don't know. You guys can pick whatever you want. It's your airplane. This is my airplane. I just feel generous enough to show you how I make my airplanes. I forgot that the wingtips. You know what? I'm gonna just twist them forwards. So here's a trick in airplanes. So at the root, it's actually twisted, but towards the tip, it's actually twisted the other way, like that. You're probably wondering why. Does that create negative lift? On the normal airfoil, not so. An airplane with a flat airfoil produces negative lift if it's have a negative angle of attack. Someone please correct me. What's the name called of negative angle of attack? There's a special name. I forgot it. Angle of refraction. I don't know. Anyway, an airfoil with a negative angle of attack can actually produce some lift, like -5 at most, or -10 at some extremes. So it does produce lift. Is that handy? And they do this because when an airplane's about to stall, like on the P.2.5, it has really bad stall characteristics. So to compensate that is they have it tilt down, so the wingtips actually stall last. So the roots stall first, and the wingtips stall last. Why do you do that? Well, what's on the wingtips is the aileron, and if your aileron stalled, then it has no effective. You have no authority. But if it have like a negative pitch, it has some authority. So when you're at tip stall, you will have some aileron authority, which is super critical because, let's face it, a lot of pilots' final mistake is they stall the airplane, and they get in tip stall, and a lot of dangerous things that happen. You can get a spin, and if you're very experienced, and unfortunately I click rendering, if you're very experienced, you can get out, but if you're inexperienced after training, you can actually spiral towards the ground. Or you could be low on the ground, there's no time to recover. Or you get very slow and you get shot down by the enemy. There's many cases, but generally if you can control your airplane a bit longer before it stalls, then you have a better chance of recovering or surviving, or etc, etc. You get what I mean. So that's why engineers have negative pitch on the wingtips on some airplanes, not all, but most propeller, like older style airplanes, I'm pretty sure they do have some negative twists. Same thing on propellers. At the root, it's very twisted, and towards the end, it gets pretty neutral. Ooh. Now, there might be someone on the internet probably following this tutorial making a propeller airplane. No biggie. Making a propeller is not that hard. This looks pretty awful. Gonna add some more geometry. Yeah, so I've got a negative twist. And just tweak up my corners. Because I do plan to 3D print it. That's the reason why I'm making this airplane. I just want to get a really nice looking model. Maybe because some of you do Roblox games. A few of my models actually in a few famous Roblox games, like Vortex Engine. I did some work for Roblox. It's a interesting place. Not gonna say too much about it. Now I say that's that looks pretty cool. I admit, it looks more efficient. And those are actually pretty cheap to make in real life. Alright. What's some other details we can add? I guess smooth shade this properly. And smooth shade that. Yeah, let's go make these actually proper. Let's go hide everything. And let's go make these wings into a full close mesh. F. This does get a bit tricky. So what I would do here is I don't know. Go and extrude all these details down. E Z exactly down. Now I'm being a bit of a hypocrite, but I do have a razor sharp trailing edge, and you can see I corrected. I'm just saying that I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm sure there's someone here just laughing. Look at this amateur making an airplane. Maybe you can do the kind thing and point out some tips. That'd be handy. But this is the internet. Everyone likes to feel like, try to look like they're smarter than everyone else. So that's why we got to learn to not really care. Like, I hope you don't feel bad that I'm better than you. Like, realize that you can probably be the same skill over me pretty quickly, honestly. I'm saying, like, what I'm trying to say here. If you really practice, like just practice modeling airplanes for a month, you can get a pretty decent level. I promise that. Like, maybe not the best, but better where you were from. Let's just add some support loops just to make it crisp like that. And so as here. Now the problem is, if I look here, you can see a little bit of a pinching. Not a fan of it. I'm just going to merge at loss, and you kind of get this redirection. Very handy. So that one and merge at loss. And then I'm just going to get all nope, bloop, 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 and yeah, and by distance. Cool, look at that, much better. And I even got rid of some unnecessary geometry. I'll do the same here. I don't need you, so get out here. And so is you. And so as you. And to me that does look a much better shading. F. I'm gonna swallow my words and make it a bit blunt. F. Ooh, look at that. To be honest, I don't need this because it'll be straight. I put one here and bevel it to give some support loops all the way right there. Crisp. Now that looks like a much sexier aileron. And of course we got to do the flaps. Another thing I like about it, but if you ever look at flaps, like if you think mechanically, they're pretty boxy, and like you're probably wondering, how does this thing rotate? You do have a point, so let's go fix that. Really, ailerons are just like little wings deflecting on their axes, doing their thing, my bob. So I'm just going to select the leading edge and just bevel it to make it a rounder appearance. And that looks more attractive, and it looks better because it just shows more detail, shows more emphasis on the detail. Okay, I start to really like this plane. I think this plane looks really cool now. And then we just have to repeat for the rest of the control surfaces, like the tail plane and the rudder and the tail and the elevator. So let's do the tail plane. I have a quick question. What do you guys actually call this? I call it tail plane. Some people call it horizontal stabilizer. But from a young age, I always call this as a tail plane. It makes sense. Tail plane. Like plane's a flat surface, and what's it? Oh. Sorry guys, I do have a memory loss. It's at the tail, and it's a plane like a, you know, like a flat, an image plane. I don't know how to explain it. It's just some sort of math term, like a Cartesian plane. Like that took me a while to understand, like what my math teacher was always on about, like a Cartesian plane, and I realized like, oh, it's the grid that I always draw. Now let's just bevel it like that. And yes, we do have this pesc. I wonder how I'm gonna solve it. It don't matter. So what I'm gonna do is gonna enable snapping, make sure it's a vertice, GG, C to constrain it, and yeah, just snap it to that one. That's the right location. I'll just do it to the other side. GG, C, and snap. Very nice. And let's go fix some topology. Oh, J. I don't need you, and I don't need you. Oh, by distance, and yeah, that looks pretty good. I've got to agree there. time to use some of the mac caps. And gonna use this one. And we are getting some funky shading issues here. Oh, it's probably just by this end gone, really. I hope this isn't too bad to look at. Ugh. Oh no, I'm not really a hard surface wizard, so I don't exactly know how to get that look perfect. Maybe triangle it. That might help. Because triangles are a bit easier to calculate. Oh no, I'm just doing an educated guess. So press Ctrl T to triangulate it. Maybe just put a support loop. Oh yep, problem solved. Actually, I probably know the solution. So let's get that seizure inducing doohickey. Just do something like that. And we're going to do that trick again. What we did on the aileron. Come on. Merge at last. Yes. And I think that looks much better. I don't know. I have to do some reading. This stuff is rarely on video. If someone knows a really good tutorial they're willing to share, please hit me up. Because usually this type of information is found by reading websites and art documents. This by normal, S on the x-axis. And I particularly don't want those. Oh no, I think this is much better. Oh, and we can't forget to add some support loops. So you see, before and after. And yes, someone probably say there, why don't you just press this doohickey? I don't know, just don't rely on the auto everything. Yes, it does help, but sometimes adding some support loops goes a long way. And we're here to make some high quality, yes, it's not some quick low quality stuff. Like we want something that you know, we can 3D print, etc, etc. We're not want to build on top of shortcuts. Otherwise, you have a representation of just shortcuts. I'm looking at you, CG Mana, all I can think about you is just shortcuts. Constant shortcuts. Well, it's fine, I guess. As long as you achieve results, it don't matter. Now, a lot of this is quite repetitive. Like, I pretty much switch off my brain and just go autopilot. As I have a lot of experience making airplanes. But don't compare yourself to me. I've been doing this for I don't know, years? Let me count out. I started 2018, so 3 years, I think? 3 or 4 years? And how long have you been doing? You've been doing for like a few months. So of course you're not going to be at my speed. Maybe you just like sitting back and watching along. Like I know it can be quite entertaining, but please follow along. Like you can who's that artist? I was learning how to do anatomy, and my anatomy, I forgot the name. I'm so sorry, mate, but I remember he keep on telling me like, yes, you can read the book how to swing a home run, but if you never do the practice, then you just read it. You never have an experience, and that's what I'm trying to say here. That I know it might be bad, but at least have a go. That's what I'm trying to say. Then you can say you legitimately actually done it. And that's a very powerful thing when you get a client like they're sometimes not really certain, and you gotta say like, I've done this before. Which is better than saying like, I never done it, but I read how to do it. And now they're gonna have like serious doubts about you. It's time to do the same detailing here. Let's set for that. Subdivide, and then you can just press F. Oh no, I think of T. Another character. I'm sorry, everyone. Ugh, it's nearly 11. I should really consider rest. Like, yeah, I know it's good to do work, but don't get too serious tunnel vision, otherwise you can harm yourself. So, I think I'll do another 15 minutes of this. And I go to sleep, I wake up, I do another part, and we can make art together. Go bevel it by 1. Remember what I said, it's never razor sharp. I know I sound such a hypocrite. Cool. Now I've got a pretty good looking rudder. Now let's do the same treatment we done to that part. And you'll probably be sick and tired of like this detail because it's so fiddly to do. And you're right, it is quite fiddly. And to be honest, if you do, spend time to do the proper way, I find you get a far better result. A much superior result if you just do, the quick and lazy way. Expecting texture can save you everything, but I don't think so. Usually you can tell that the underlying geometry just looks rubbish if you think that texture can save you. Trust me, I've done it. And you don't want to do it too. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there, and there. That goes there, that goes there, and that goes there, and there. Oh, that goes there, that goes there. Now I do have one awkward shape, and I can just press J to there, and J to there. And now we've got like the worst artifacts. We can press all the smooth and wow, pretty much problem solved. You hear that? Is that rain outside? I don't know. You could probably have a good gun. That's where I live. If I said it's rain at the time. Maybe. Yeah, look how good that looks. And now let's go fix up the rudder. No, the tail I meant. Or the horizontal stabilizer. However you like to wish to call it. Just that one, just to make it square. X, dissolve edge. Bevel it, just to make it a bit rounder. Now time to add the necessary support loops, because all the smooth doesn't save everything. Well, it does in this case, but come on, it's all about the practice. In this, I haven't really properly explained, but when there's actually a way to like simplify geometry. You can get rid of 4 vertices. Watch this. You get this edge and you slide it to the corner, and you get this one, you get to there, and boom, you get the same geometry, same detail, but less vertices. Isn't that cool? And of course this one I show you at loss. At loss again. At loss. Oh. And let's go factorize. I don't know what you guys call it. I call it factorizing, like in math. Like factorizing code. Grab. Now see, look at it. Now we put the time and effort, and now we've got some serious cool detail to this airplane. Yes. I think next episode 3, I think that's enough for now, because I'm getting really tired. And you work slower when you the longest your session go, so I hope you learned that too. So tomorrow I think we're going to add some more details. Like, my intention is to 3D print this, so no texturing, because I don't know how to convert image textures to 3D geometry. Like, yeah, you can do displacement, but that gets really heavy and you get less control, and I think you get better if you just model in. So yeah, I hope you come back, and I think you guys did a good job, so take care everybody, and that was my OBS and stuff.